and beyond. It is Defect, the masked man, the rap superhero, the one with the double F's. Frankly, I'm furious. Here to tell you how I would fix the Star Wars prequels. So, Defect, I am the rapper and everything, but DeMarcus is the actor and the artist, but he was at work and he was talking to one of the young teachers about Star Wars. You know, they kind of geek out a little bit, and they were talking about Last Jedi and everything and how that was and they somehow they got on the subject of the prequels, and obviously DeMarcus was like, the prequels aren't that good, I don't really like them. They're not good at all. And the young teacher, he was saying that he really liked the prequels. He's young. I honestly, he's probably about like 21, 22 at the most, I guess. And so he actually grew up with the sequels, as that was his Star Wars, the prequels, I'm sorry. And he was saying that he thinks that the reason why people actually, shit on the prequels is just because it's a popular thing to do. And honestly, I don't agree. But when DeMarcus brought the conversation to my attention, popped in my head a way to fix the prequels. Okay, so I'll preface it like this. I know a lot of people already talk about the prequels and shit on the prequels and everything, and I'm hoping that this is a different perspective, and I'm not here to shit on them. I'm just going to say what I think is to fix them. So the issues with the prequels is that they're bogged down with a bunch of this stuff that we don't really care about. Like pod races. Nobody gives a fuck about pod races. Midichlorians, and Jar Jar Binks, obviously. There's just too much crap we don't really care about. So one of my solutions is that instead of 3 movies for the prequels, I think what would have best, if they would have did this back then, this would have best benefited the prequels, would have been to do a Rogue One style movie, for the prequels. One movie, 2 hours, and it would have been just a Rogue One style, and a Han Solo style, the Solo movie style, one movie. And then the frame of the movie is, instead of, we're framing it, the whole world and everything, because we already kind of got the whole world for the original movies. The frame of the movie is the rise of Vader. How does, Vader come to power? I think framing it that way and making it a 2-hour movie is more effective. And then you would actually have, a substance. I think it would actually zone in on something, and it would actually hold some interest. And I think that's the story. I think, as they would say, that's the story. And so I had a friend that was like, no, but you needed it. It had to be. And I was like, no. Honestly, I can give you the storyboard right now, and I will, of how to frame and storyboard this movie. So, beginning of the movie, you instead of the Star Wars text, you will just have one sentence, phrase, or whatever of the prophecy. One will bring balance to the Force, and then that fight that's at the end of the first movie, Phantom Menace, that is your opening shot. That's your opening scene, between Darth Maul, Qui-Gon Jinn, and Obi. That's your opening shot opening sequence, and then obviously, Darth Maul loses. They defeat him. Qui-Gon Jinn still, dies, and then the rest of the premise after that is the fact that Darth Sidious is looking for a new apprentice, because they always say that Sith comes in twos. There is the master and there is the apprentice. So he's looking for a new apprentice, and that propels the story forward from there. And then we get a little bit of young Anakin. That's fine. A little bit of young Anakin. And when they finally find him, I don't know, I guess maybe, they need, something. The reason why they knew he had the Force was because of the pod racer thing. But, I think you can do it a little, better. And they find young Anakin. They start to try to, train him and everything. And then they realize that he might be the answer to the prophecy. And then also, since Darth Sidious, the Emperor, Palpatine, is secretly in, under the radar of the Jedi Council, he can kind of start, whispering, sweet nothings into Anakin's ear. And then after that, I think, you just kind of, and you flush more stuff out. But then that part where he kind of goes to that place and just slaughters people, not the kid one, but the part in Attack of the Clones where he goes to that place and starts, kind of slaughtering those kids, or not those kids, I'm sorry, that factory place. He starts, kind of just slaughtering those people. That would be the midpoint of the story. And you kind of see a little bit of flash of that, that dark side coming in, and then you just keep, going through it. And, a little bit of the Attack of the Clone stuff there. You still, obviously, you probably do need the Order 66 thing. But and then the part, then you lead to the part where he finally has to, kill Mace, and he finally is, he's helping Palpatine. He's finally over to the dark side. And then you lead to that part where they fight at the end of Revenge of the Sith. And then, and then you got the Darth Vader, come up. I think you cut out a lot of the filler in these three movies. Make them one solid movie where the frame is the rise of Darth Vader, and I think that's how you fix the prequels. Now, like I said, there are things that you can flesh out and everything, but there is no reason for those movies to be 3 hours. Because not 3 hours, so just three movies. Because I think it needed the treatment of Rogue One. I know that Rogue One came after, but I kind of wish that they would have thought about that and I know they were trying to make another franchise and